Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. I'm called Maureen. We'll begin with our top stories. Santa subdivision in the Northwest region has not been spared of the fear factor that characterizes life in the most parts of the region with the security crisis. That is why the administrative has made a fervent appeal for all to turn out for activities to mark National Day celebration, that is tomorrow, May 20. And Cameroonians are still confused whether or not today is a public holiday, while others have concluded that the day falling between two public holidays, the Feast of Ascension and a National Day, is automatically a public holiday. Some say there is no presidential decree to affirm that. And organizations defending the rights of children and defenders of human rights have called on Cameroonians, particularly mothers, to denounce rape cases on minors and ensure justice is served to such criminals. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Cameroonians are still confused whether or not today is a public holiday, while others have concluded that the day falling between two public holidays, that is the Feast of Ascension and National Day, is automatically a public holiday, while some say there is no presidential decree to affirm that. Let's get the atmosphere in Vive Friend Ministries in Yaoundé this day with a reporter, Haisencha.
Timid arrival of workers in different ministries in the nation's political capital this Friday, May 19. Still contemplating whether it is a public holiday or not. A few answered present, though very late, as they spent time waiting for the decree of the President of the Republic to confirm as usual.
Yes, I am a civil servant. I have obligation to work. The decree, did it come? That is why I come to my office.
They expressed difficulties leaving the house this morning, given that they had already conditioned their minds since Wednesday as they bid farewell to colleagues, hoping to return only on Monday after a very long weekend. The parking lots of the different ministerial departments virtually empty, a clear proof that a greater percentage of the workers did not show up. Some committed vendors were equally here as usual to serve food for the few civil servants.
Organizations defending the rights of children and human rights in general have called on Cameroonians to denounce rape cases on minors and ensure justice is served to such criminals who perpetrate rape on minors. The human rights defenders are talking of the silence of the death penalty by a court in Kongsamba on the rapists on children below 7. More in the following story. Many Cameroonians, particularly organizations fighting for the rights of children and human rights in general, have expressed satisfaction with the final judgment served by the Kongsamba Court of First Instance to a rapist of 2 children below 7 in Kongsamba. The death penalty is coming after 5 years, thus pulling many to believe and raising a ray of confidence in the Cameroonian justice system.
Studies show that 93% of the children know those who raped them. Their uncles, cousins, siblings, people to whom they sell food. So, if those people who connive, lure children and rape them are listening to this sentence, I am sure that they will start rethinking and asking themselves if they need to continue with that behavior.
The death penalty is going to deter so many of those persons who think that they can abuse people inhumanely and they go scot-free. So I think that was a very strong message, and it should be salutary.
Will the death penalty sentence pull families to further denounce cases of rape and torture by close ones?
Sanctions, families will now even be more secure. They will feel at ease to denounce that, knowing that, okay, if they are able to denounce, the justice is going to follow its course and the perpetrators are going to be punished accordingly. I think it's going to instead encourage families to denounce.
According to family counselor Dr. Fon Elizabeth, the death sentence is a call for retrospection to every other rapist hidden in homes and commit cruel acts on children.
It's a call to introspection for everyone. Mothers who deliver children, how are they protecting their children? Do they have that kind of relationship with their children, that enabling environment where children can spontaneously come to them and say, uncle, cousin tried to rape me? Do they have that kind of relationship? It's a call for introspection.
To arrest the growing phenomenon and pull perpetrators to court, families have been told to denounce cases of rape on minors, no matter where it happens, even if the perpetrators are their own born father. Mothers too have to wake up and play that watchdog role. The Acacia market in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, before a breeding ground for cholera bacteria, and today free from the deadly disease. An operation to kill the cholera bacteria with the use of chemicals was effective at the Acacia market. The measure is as a result of increasing dirt linked to cholera bacteria. More in the following story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
It all began here at the explanade of the Yaoundé 6 municipality. The actors all dressed for the mission. Protection frockwares, boots, helmets, glasses, face masks like gloves. Direction, Acacia Market, just a stone throw. The mayor also present for the mission. The actors were spread out to cover the different sections and corners of the market. Verandas, the open space, tables, sheds, gutters, in front of stores and shops. All the areas were sterilized with the cleaning agent in order to destroy cholera bacteria. The market was closed for a smooth exercise. Under and on top of closely covered and tied goods, the spray wens. Close by, the ever-ready supply in containers for continuity once the cans are empty. To the mayor, public health is priceless. Why they decided to take the bull by the horns.
Nos vies, je pense, doivent être au-dessus.
Our lives should be above economic activity or economic interest of any kind. Why? We took the responsibility to close Acacia Market today to enable me and team to carry out the vast disinfection campaign at our level to bar the way to the propagation of cholera.
Barrer la route à la propagation de ce choléra.
This first move at the Acacia Market, Biamasi neighborhood in Yaoundé, will continue in the other markets under Yaoundé 6 municipality and all areas where necessary. But from Monday, a vast sensitization campaign towards the population and traders will begin, especially on the gest and hygienic measures to respect, such as a systematic washing of hands with soap and clean water before eating and after using the latrine, washing of fruits and vegetables well before consumption. Basic but life-saving rules that can help keep the population far from cholera.
Santa subdivision in the northwest region of Cameroon has not been spared of the fear factor that characterizes most parts of the region with a security crisis. That is why administrative authority has made a fervent appeal for all to turn out for activities to mark National Day celebration that is tomorrow, May 20. More on the story with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
The population of Santa subdivision and Mezam division of the Northwest region have been encouraged to turn out in their numbers for celebrations marking the 51st edition of the National Unity Day. The call is from the divisional officer for Santa, Gilles Roger Mvundi, during sporting activities as part of the preparations for 20th May 2023.
Concerning all of us, so we try to warm the city, Santa City, with that football match, because sports is a factor of unity and peace.
In prelude to the physical exercises, a walk along some streets of the town with the national colors helping to animate the gateway town into the Northwest region.
We invite all of us to don't cross the hand and stay behind and homes. So it's possible this can coming back, but we can. It's a man for all of us.
The handball match pitted female service heads against workers of the municipal council, while in football, civilians locked it out with the military, a way of reinforcing the symbiosis between the army and the nation.
Torch lighting procession is one of the memorable moments of May 20 Eve. We take you to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where the exercise is launched this evening to unfold tonight. Trailing them is our reporter, Hyacinth Chia. Hello, Hyacinth.
Good evening. It is the usual tradition of torch lighting procession where youths in the nation's political capital are supposed to tour the city with their torches on. And today they are beginning at the Tutti Public School with a number of youths. And with me is one of the organizers who is serving as the guides for this activity. She goes by the name Madame Zodephine. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. This is an activity that many Cameroonians are very used to. But then, tell us, how many schools are involved in this activity this time around?
Presently, we have 5 schools and some associations, youth associations.
For an activity like this, what is the message behind it?
The message behind it is that it is some sort of preparing for the eve of our Unity Day, which is the 19th today, and tomorrow the 20th, which is a Unity Day, and the torchlight procession shows the peace, the unity that reigns in our country.
We understand you guys are going to move across the 7 subdivisions of Yaoundé. Give us the itinerary.
From here, Sapeur et Tudi will move to Manguier, from Manguier, Elixono, the Central Market, from the Central Market to the 20th May Boulevard.
Okay. Is it at the 20th May Boulevard where the 7 subdivisions will meet?
Yeah.
And that is the situation right here. As you can see behind me, the youths are very much anxious to embark on such an activity. And like we said, it is at the eve of the Unity Day celebration, which is serving as the symbol to say, oh, Cameroon, this is the time you have to consolidate unity, you have to consolidate living together, you have to consolidate the integrity of the country. Live from the Tutti Public School, Hyacinth Chia and Samuel Ebakise.
Thank you so much, Hyacinth Chia. And as guest in this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language, she is an international peace crusader. It's a name not new to Cameroonians. Tunfo barrister Nico Hanley. Let's take a listen.
When you talk of hate speech and what we are now experiencing, the decadence that we are now experiencing, it is the absence of love. The absence of love. We don't love ourselves, we don't love each other, we don't love our nation. That is it. So if you don't love, without love, there can't be any peace anywhere. Without love, there can't be justice, there can't be equity, there can't be transparency. So I have condemned hate speech. I have condemned discrimination. I have condemned tribalism in the hardest of terms. I have condemned because nothing good happens when there is disorder, chaos, and anarchy. You know so well. So each time I realize that peace is threatened, I say to myself, this is bizarre, it's strange, despicable. Why must we look at people that originally were very peaceful? How come the peace has escaped. If peace is not there, then love is not there.
That was International Peace Crusader Tumfor Barrister Nico Halley. Some 8,500 certified cocoa farmers in the southwest, littoral and central regions have been paid certification bonuses to receive sustainability differentials, having respected the certification norms and quality cocoa production during the 2022 and 2023 cocoa season. The payment is a motivation for good work and encouragement to keep up. Ines Ondwambala completes that story.
Some 14,500 tons of certified cocoa beans have been produced by cocoa farmers in Cameroon during the 2022-2023 cocoa season. In the southwest, littoral and central regions of the country, farmers distinguish themselves through their production by respecting best agricultural practices applied to the cocoa sector. Agro-Produce Management Services Limited has encouraged certified cocoa farmers by paying their bonuses. Over 8,500 farmers have received sustainability differentials from AMS.
Premium that we are paying, which is a sustainability differential, is a motivational tool that has come from the producer who says, we sent you to do sustainability and you have decided to do it. So we come back this moment to motivate them with this premium.
The sum of 750 million francs CFA is being paid to farmers for supplying more than 14,500 tons of certified cocoa beans.
The same exercise is going on for all the farmers that were certified and were successful, that successfully gave cocoa to AMS. They are benefiting their premium.
The 11th edition of the payment of bonuses to cocoa farmers have been saluted by beneficiaries.
I'm very impressed with this cooperative because since I joined them, it has been of great help to me. I realize that each year we have been called up to come for something like this, of which we were not expecting.
I am very happy to be part of the AMS premium for this year. The past year I have been able to receive premium, but I say the 2022 will help us to buy certified, starts, pushing up activities in the farm.
The Agro-Produce Management Services Limited is paying bonuses to deserving cocoa farmers after the Rainforest Alliance certification year.
The only way and the correct way is by going the sustainable way, the sustainability approach, which is the context that Agro-Produce Management Services Limited have chosen by using the Rainforest Alliance standard. And by taking this standard, you improve the knowledge of farmers by causing them to get to know about good agricultural practices.
It is worth noting that sustainability differentials is an additional amount of money that cocoa farmers receive over the normal market price after a successful certification year. AMS accompanies farmers through certification, cocoa purchase and export of cocoa beans. AMS, Agro-Produce Management Services Limited, is the first company in Cameroon to have obtained a group certification in cocoa in 2011. Over the years, AMS has grown from 400 farmers in 2011 to more than 16,000 farmers in 2022, paid over 4 billion francs CFA as bonuses to farmers, exported over 100,000 tons of cocoa beans and trained over 16,000 farmers on good agricultural, social and environmental practices.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching, but don't go away. For coming up next is a debrief with Mark Schwamo as for me. I will be back same time, but this time around on Monday. Good night.